Where and how do I find software developers? Because they seem to come, they seem to take advantage of me, maybe grow at my place, and then they leave. Those bitches. Well, what do you do? I think what you do is that you attract them and you just make them feel happy. You just make them feel good. There's nothing else you need to do. You just make them feel good, and then and only then you think about, how do I press, or how do I let them flow? How do I let them do things that I'd like them to do? As Stephen Covey has put it, think to understand first and then to be understood. I think, is that the right way of saying? Whatever. As Stephen Covey has put it, think to understand, then to be understood. So yeah, in my case, I would say think to give them all they need to get from you, and maybe some more, and then you think about understanding. And then you ask them to understand you back, and they don't leave, and you don't have to pay them high salaries. For example, what do I mean? What do you give them? What do you give them? So what do you give them? Well, you give them. Well, first of all, you try to find people that understand you, at your personal goals, at your personal values, at your company goals. Well, your company goals don't really matter. At your personal level, like, do they value openness and honesty and hard work, or having principles that they'd like to stick to? And then you try to synchronize with them. You try to be open with them, be vulnerable with them, be one of them. Be one of them. What else? Give them strong tech. Give them good computers and laptops and gadgets and everything they need to have for them to consider themselves complete in terms of tech. So give them good screens and standing desks and whatever, computers that don't suck, And what about the tech presence? Yes, use strong tech. Yes, use modern and sexy tech. Use automation at work. Make people value the processes and the principles and the technology that you have developed, like I don't know, pipelines, or merge requests, or unit testing, or behavior-driven development, whatever. Just make sure you have some of those, and also get feedback in terms of how it is working for them. But at the end of the day, just aim for them feeling happy, just making them feel good with one another and with you, and maybe let them meditate or let them get some rest if they need to, and arrange places for them to do that. Why don't you just do that yourself? As an example, I was the head of an IT department many years ago, but I really was not any good in terms of how I treated people. I had, people work for me, but rather they worked for the company, not for me. I was nothing other than just another performer who probably did the most, and I was afraid, and I was frustrated most of the time. I didn't really know anybody who worked for me in my department. But now I think, well, one of the key attributes that I try to foster at work is just joy and peacefulness and hard work, of course, principles, principles that are important. They need to be there. But before you put up some principles and guidelines and, this is what we do kind of stuff, just make sure that people are happy, And if they're not, just let them go. You don't want unhappy people at work. You don't want unhappy people poisoning everybody with their unhappiness. Why? I mean, why would you not want happy people? Just look for happy people. There are people who are happy, and there are people who are not happy. You want those that are happy, and you want to be happy yourself, and you want to surround yourself with happy people, and you want to surround your happy people with your happiness. And if you're not happy, then you don't have a chance. Get happy.